Animal Crossing is a series that I've enjoyed ever since the original release back in 2002 on the Nintendo GameCube. Despite its surge in popularity, some people may be confused as to what Animal Crossing is. Others may see Animal Crossing and say, oh, I don't see the big deal in it. All you do is just the same mundane chores and tasks every day with nothing new. Which is why I put together this video, just to kind of discuss some of the psychological elements of Animal Crossing, just to get a feel for what makes Animal Crossing so good and why so many people want to play it. Just a little bit of background, Animal Crossing is a social simulation video game series developed and produced by Nintendo. The game itself was created by Katsuya Iguchi and Hisashi Nogami. In Animal Crossing, you play as a human villager in a town inhabited by anthropomorphic animals and carry out various tasks throughout each day. Throughout each day, you can complete various tasks, such as catching bugs and fish, completing chores, collecting resources, and selling goods and items that you've collected. Animal Crossing gives you the freedom to play however you would like. However, there are some limits to the game. The game itself is set in real time, which means that the game is continuously going, whether you're playing or not. This was the main hook for the original North American release back in 2002 for the Nintendo GameCube, and has since become a great success and one of Nintendo's most popular franchises. Throughout Animal Crossing, seasonal events take place to coincide with real-world holidays, such as Easter, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and even Christmas. Along with each holiday, the weather changes as well. For example, the summer months bring out fishing tournaments and sunny days, whereas the winter months bring about snow on the ground and less outdoor activities to do. Each game in the series has brought about regular changes to help keep each entry fresh. For example, the latest release, Animal Crossing New Horizons, brings about having your own deserted island where you start with nothing but a tent and limited resources. As you progress in the game, you're given new tools and equipment to use in order to expand and grow your island into something truly original and unique. With that in mind, Animal Crossing gives players a unique gaming experience unlike any other and gives the players a sense of control, escape, and the perfect idea of what they think life would be like. Within this environment, you're able to escape without any of the real-world consequences, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. In this video, I'll be covering 5 major topics related to Animal Crossing. Each one is unique and plays a part in the overall appeal of Animal Crossing. The first topic I want to talk about is control factors. In the real world, there are 2 realities that are almost certain. The first being, while hard work is usually necessary for success, it does not guarantee success. All of our hard work and effort can be attributed to the things we want, such as wealth, relationships, or material possessions, yet sometimes we can still be unsuccessful. And the second is, life is not as rewarding as we want it to be. For example, people could work the same job for years upon years and never receive any type of promotion or financial profit for their efforts. Having said that, some psychologists recommend goal setting in order to provide a sense of gratification for the efforts we put into life. When a person sees that they have accomplished their goal, they often feel good about themselves and set themselves up for more goals to accomplish throughout the day, week, month, or even the whole year. With all of this in mind, Animal Crossing allows the players to set up not only personal goals, but built-in goals as well. For example, the game gives you freedom to customize your island however you want, with no objectives or to-do lists. The goals that are built into the game include paying off your mortgage, catching and selling bugs and fish, interacting with your animal neighbors, and completing the game's museum, which includes digging up fossils and also donating said bug and fish. In order to complete a good majority of these goals, hard work plays a factor in this. For example, I've been trying for months to catch the elusive coelacanth fish, which only appears on days where the weather is rainy. Trying to catch the fish took me more than 100 attempts, and when I did catch him, it gave me an overwhelming sense of relief and accomplishment. While this may seem frustrating to others, the persistence in finally having the rare fish for my museum felt like I had accomplished something outstanding and extremely rewarding. Animal Crossing gives the player incentive and challenge to continue to persevere and ultimately rewards the player one way or another. While attempting to catch the coelacanth, I was able to sell all the other fish I had caught for a hefty sum of bells, which is the in-game currency. The real world may seem unfair and unpredictable at times. However, Animal Crossing provides a nice digital getaway to reward one's efforts and promote happy and positive feelings. The next topic I want to talk about is the villagers in Animal Crossing. The villagers in Animal Crossing are one of the biggest selling points of the game. Within Animal Crossing, animal villagers will either come and go based on how much you interact with them. For example, if you talk to an animal villager on a daily basis, your friendship with them will go up and will want to stay a permanent resident on your island. On the contrary, if you neglect your villager and do not talk to them or complain about them to resident services, they will ask if you think they should move out of the island and go somewhere new. After a few days, the animal villager will pack up and move away, leaving a available space for a new villager. This gives the player control of having a new villager to move in. Within the game, new villagers will visit your island's campsite and ask you to play games and bond with them so that way they can become a permanent resident on your island. With how random it is that villagers move into the island, sometimes people get very divisive over villagers, whether they're cute or ugly. In the Animal Crossing community, this is a huge deal. This is where the cute and ugly dilemma comes into play. Various players in the Animal Crossing community have rated villagers cute and ugly based on personal preference and have often evicted villagers as soon as possible by torturing them through various means, such as digging holes for them to fall into and repeatedly hitting them with bug nets to make them upset. While it may seem ideal to have cute villagers on your island to help promote a sense of happiness and control, ugly villagers will sometimes move in without notice. For example, on my island, I have multiple ugly villagers right now that have genuinely made me feel frustrated, like I didn't have any control over what was happening on my island. I wanted the best villager possible based on looks, which may seem shallow on the surface, but there's some psychology backing this up. This contributes to the factor of wanting control and having a pleasant island experience. From a psychological point of view, research has shown that people are predisposed to respond to cute faces and baby-like soft features, such as large head and big protruding eyes. This is also known as the baby schema, and you can do some research on that if you want to know a little bit more about it. Surrounding the players with cute imagery and villagers can help promote a sense of positive emotions, which is part of the overall goal within Animal Crossing. Having cute villagers versus ugly villagers can help those relate more to their island and give the sense of idealization for the perfect island life. The next topic I want to talk about is motivational factors. This includes collecting resources and making money throughout the game. One of the big reasons that makes Animal Crossing so enjoyable is the motivation to grow your island by collecting resources. Being able to grow and develop an island all of your own makes the experience very personalized and lets the individual become attached to what they've made so far. This could include the way their home looks, how the island is laid out, and being able to give the player just this ultimate sense of control. The motivation that continues to encourage players to keep coming back is the idea of having a unique island experience that requires a lot of upkeep and gives the players the tools that they need to help them grow. Pulling weeds, chopping trees, catching bugs and fish could be seen as this mundane task to most real-world events. However, this also gives the player a means to be able to expand their island's museum. Not only that, but a player could also choose to sell the bugs and fish that they collect throughout the day. Having motivational factors to encourage players to keep coming back is one of the many ways that will help players continue to play for months to come. In some of the older Animal Crossing games, there were less motivational factors compared to New Horizons. For example, in some of the older games, there was no such thing as material collecting. There was no wood you could collect, and all the fossils that you got would have to be assessed within a 24-hour period. However, in this game, you're able to collect materials on the same day and assess fossils on the same day, which expedites the process a whole lot. Having the motivation to keep going is one of the biggest factors for playing Animal Crossing. One of the biggest topics I want to discuss is social factors. So having animal villagers on your island is great, and it keeps the players interacting with them to see what they're going to say next, but having friends in real life to play with helps as well. For example, using the Nintendo Switch online service allows players from all around the world to be able to play and stay connected. Having this sense of being able to play with friends is one of the biggest social factors of the game and encourages players to share their unique experiences with each other. Within my friend group, I'm able to share and play with those that own the game and see what their unique islands look like. With one of the new summer updates, players now have the ability to dream their way onto other islands and see new people's islands that they may not generally be friends with. There is, however, one downside to this. You need a dream code in order to visit, which can usually be attained by connecting to random people online through either Facebook groups or the popular Nookazon service through the Discord servers. Being able to be social with friends helps promote positive well-being for most individuals and can also help become more interactive in ways that they may not have done before. The last factor I want to talk about regarding the psychology of Animal Crossing is escapism. Animal Crossing promotes a sense of escapism in different ways that most video games don't do. Being able to escape to your own island getaway is a huge factor in playing Animal Crossing. For a time, you're able to escape into your own world and shut off from the outside world for a few hours, or more if you don't have any self-control. In a time where being able to temporarily escape can help individuals improve on their mental health, it is also important to not let it become an addiction and let other responsibilities go undone. Escapism is something that can be beneficial in healthy doses, but Animal Crossing seems to lure the players to play by the mentality of quote-unquote just one more task. Within my time of playing Animal Crossing, I've had this happen as well, where I will just go and check on my island to make sure my villagers are happy, make sure it's not getting run over by weeds, and I'll end up playing for more time than I intended by doing just different tasks such as gathering fruit, collecting resources, or catching new bugs and fish for the month. While this may seem like a negative concept, it is best to know that having self-control and discipline is important while playing any video game. It's just that Animal Crossing tends to have a heavy influence on the player to keep them coming back for more, which makes the game well worth the time and money you spent on purchasing it. Like I've said before, Animal Crossing is a series that I have enjoyed since I first played it on the GameCube. Each iteration that comes out, I tend to get excited and play it for a few months and then just never play them again. However, Animal Crossing has changed that in the way that Animal Crossing can be for generations to come. While it may not be a perfect game and have its minor flaws here and there, it's still a great game. It has overwhelming positive benefits for individuals that just need that sort of escape. Again, like I said, escapism is good in healthy doses, it's just when you overindulge is when it becomes a bad thing. It's a game series that helps players connect and want to get better. Not only is the game positive in that way, it's also given me some motivation and inspiration just to make this video about things that I'm passionate about, which is like just mental health, psychology, and video games. I feel like this is something that I've wanted to do for a while, and I appreciate it if you made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to give this video a thumbs up if you love it, or thumbs down if you hate it. Any critique is also appreciated too, just don't be rude. Again, this feels great to have done, and I can't wait to make more content in the future. This is Zach with Mild Temperament Media, signing off.